So the next question we have to answer is, what is acting? And also, how does it relate to everyday life? Well, the best definition I've ever heard of acting came from the acting teacher Sanford Meisner. He said that acting is living truthfully in imaginary situations. Put simply, it's just playing pretend. Okay? Just like basketball is a game you play when you're a little kid, and if you get good enough at that game, you can go pro. Acting's the exact same. It's just playing make-believe. If you get good enough at playing make-believe, you can do it professionally. We call it acting. My guess is the majority of you watching this video don't really have an interest in being a professional actor. But that doesn't mean the skill set isn't important. Let me tell you why. Actors' main tool is their imagination.
In a world of pure imagination.
That's where all their ideas, all their creativity comes from. That's how they play make-believe. That's also how they relate to other people on an emotional level. So let me ask you this. Would you consider yourself an imaginative person? I'm gonna give you a second to answer. Simple question, yes or no. Would you say that you have an active imagination or not so much? If you answered yes to that question, congratulations, you're right. You're super imaginative and creative. If you answered no to that question, I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
You are incorrect. Believe it or not, you use your imagination every single day. Take a look at this word, imagination, okay? Does it look like any other word in the English language to you? Focus on those first few letters. The word imagination comes from the word image, and it just means to paint a picture in one's head. That's all imagination is. So, if I were to say, hey, picture the person you love most in the entire world. Congratulations, you just use your imagination. A false belief is that imagination is only for kids. If I were to ask you whether you identified as imaginative or not, if you used to play make-believe or use your imagination as a kid, overwhelmingly the answer is yes.
Yes, yes, yes!
Definitely. I totally used to use my imagination all the time. And I bet when you did use your imagination, you felt great. Because you were thinking of awesome stuff, like being a superhero, or a soldier, or a princess, or riding a unicorn over a waterfall made of rainbows. I don't know. Whatever those thoughts were, they excited you. You know why? Because your emotions come from the thoughts you're thinking.
You're doing it.
Doing what?
Using your imagination, Peter.
Then you grew up. Now the thing is, adults still use their imagination every single day. The problem is, we don't use our imagination to think of awesome stuff, like pretending we're superheroes or whatever. We use our imagination to picture catastrophe. What if the absolute worst happens?
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I'm imagining myself failing at my job. I'm imagining myself not doing well on something. I'm imagining doing that honey-do list that my significant other gave me, and I'm imagining it's gonna suck and I'm gonna hate it and things are gonna be terrible. I'm imagining that my boss is gonna yell at me if I'm late for work, or if I don't get this in on time, I'm gonna get fired, and then I'm gonna be homeless, and I don't know how I'm gonna feed my family.
I can't do this anymore, man. My head's about to explode. My whole life sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going.
And our emotions react to those pictures the exact same way. Psychologists call it catastrophizing. When you think of the absolute worst case scenario in any situation. So let me ask you something. If I were to shrink down to a microscopic level, jump inside your ear and take a look at your imagination, what would I see? Would I see a beautiful, wonderful oasis of hope and joy and happiness prosperity, or would I see a horrifying hellscape of the absolute worst case scenario in every situation? If I could see clearly what you're thinking, I could then tell you exactly how you're feeling. And we'll get into that in the next clip. But for right now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down 2 things for me. The first is, when you were a kid, what was your favorite thing to imagine? What was your favorite thing when you were playing make-believe, and how did it make you feel? Then what I want you to do is write down, what do you use your imagination for now? What are the thoughts you think now, and how do those make you feel? After that, we're gonna get into the neuroscience of why you feel that way.